Hello and welcome. Today we will be discussing the 18 structures of the human eye. I have borrowed this model of an eye to help us visualize as I walk you through these 18 structures. To begin with, I will just begin with the three layers of the eye. The outer layer is the tough, white, fibrous, protective layer called the sclera. If I tip our model forward, it's not quite as clear since I can't pull the pieces apart as we had in our video, but you will see that our next one is the choroid layer, which lies between the sclera and the retina and consists primarily of the blood vessels that nourish our inner layer, the retina. If I go back here to the outer structure in the front center and this piece here that I'm discussing, I want to turn it sideways so that you can see its bulging curvature. This is the cornea, and it provides the major refraction or focal strength of our eyeball. Covering the sclera is the conjunctiva, which is the clear membrane. It also lines the inner portion of our eyelids. If I remove this cornea so that you can see this beautiful brown iris better, this is that colored portion of the eye, which comes in brown, green, blue, or hazel, and it controls the amount of light entering the brain by either enlarging or minimizing the size of the pupil. The pupil here, because this is not really truly an eye, is allowing you to see this picture in the back, but in reality, when you look at a pupil, it looks black. This is because it is a hole in the center of the iris through which light passes. It appears black because there is very little light coming from the dark chamber behind it. Keep in mind, this is a hole. You cannot touch it. Behind the pupil and the iris, we have the lens, which is a resilient, transparent structure in the eye that focuses light by changing its curvature. You see here as I pull it out, this one is very curved and thick. It provides the secondary refraction after the cornea, which provides the majority of the refraction of light. And it is located right here behind that iris again, as I stated. If you look around here, you will see the ciliary body or the ciliary muscles that control that ability to focus, which is also referred to as accommodation of the eye by causing the lens to change its shape, either pulling it and flattening out or it growing tighter and curving more. The suspensory ligaments, which you really cannot see well in here, they're the long, thin fibers which connect the lens to that ring of ciliary muscles. The aqueous humor. I'm going to go back again to the front of our structure, the anterior portion of our eye, and in here we have a watery fluid that fills the anterior segment and provides some of the nutrition for the surrounding parts. When it is healthy, it keeps an equal amount flowing through, continuously being produced, as then the trabecular meshwork helps us to control that flow that goes out of the eye into the canal of Schlemm. The ora serrata. This, if again we look on the inside, it's where the retina ends and the choroid layer of the eye can be seen. Vitreous humor. In some of the videos we have watched, they had a nice clear ball. It did not appear jelly-like, but at least it was something that we could see and remove. Here, I am going to just have you visualize it in my hands here. It is a clear jelly-like substance that fills the posterior segment of the eyeball behind the lens, and it's a large area filling that big area there. The vitreous humor is something that I actually got a head start last month learning a little bit about when I was driving at night and I suddenly was seeing some arcing flashes on the outer edge of my right eye. I became a little concerned at first, thinking that it was just flashing lights as I drove through town, But I came home, noticed it when I was getting into bed. So then I went and closed myself into like a dark bathroom or room and was moving my head from side to side, creating this arcing, which I then went to the doctor right away because I was a little concerned because it was my eyes and I'm a little protective of my vision. And he explained to me some of the structure, the vitreous humor, and what was going on in my eye and why I'm seeing the arcing out here. I will tell you, there's nothing humorous. It's a little bit scary, but I am assured that my vision is going to be fine. It will all be fine. So that is my little extra tidbit. I've mentioned that canal of Schlemm. I don't really have a dot here that points it out well. I could actually pull out our diagram that we have from the class, and you can see it right over here. And again, that is where the fluid is able to flow through the trabecular meshwork as it travels and delivers the aqueous to the venous system of the body. The retina, this inner layer of the eye, the lining of the back chamber, which contains the layer of nerve cells that receive light rays that enter the light through the pupil. These cones and rods convert those light rays into electrical impulses so that they can be delivered and travel through the optic nerve onto the back part of the brain where our occipital lobe is found. In the retina, we have a small, again, I don't have the nice pretty dots, so we will pretend it's just right back here, a little bit off below that optic nerve. And it's a small thinned out area of the retina. It's called the macula, and it consists almost exclusively of cone photoreceptors, which provide for high visual acuity. In the center of that macula is what we call the fovea centralis, and this portion of the macula has the highest concentration of cones, and it is only at the fovea that we have 20/20 vision. This is also where our fine vision and color is found. And finally, that optic nerve, which I did mention, that bundle of fibers that carries the vision-related impulses from the retina to the brain. I hope that you feel a little bit more comfortable with your understanding of the visual structure after having watched this. Thank you so much for joining us.